Greetings, Internet Land. Happy solstice to you. We are a couple days out from Christmas, one day after the solstice, and I think it's about time to install our next Eurorack module. So, I received this in the mail recently, and I was considering waiting to open it on Christmas, to have something to open on Christmas. But instead, I decided to open it now and maybe have a little jam session on Christmas instead. So, got this from my parents, or my stepfather specifically, so thank you. And let's check it out. And we got our box camera down here. Anyway, so I'm going to start using a better microphone for these streams soon. But the idea is to get to the point where we're making music, doing a line through anyway. And once I have this installed, I can just run a line in mic into that too. So it'll be easier to talk to you guys a little clearer. But yeah, for now, let's get to module unboxing here. Here we go. This is the Roland 531. It's got a pretty little box. There's a whole little series of Roland modules that they released to look like old school rack mount modules, but we're just taking a mixer from that basically, so we can mix all our sounds and stuff together. But it's cool to have a little Roland representation on the map here. So let's go back to our box cam, crack this open. Got some documentation here and some screws we're going to save for later. Ribbon cable in here, that's good to have. Get this out of the wrapper here. Alright, so here's the back, here's the little circuit board, and here's the front. It's kind of funny how small Eurorack stuff is in person compared to watching it in YouTube videos, but I'm kind of a big dude, and you can see how small this is in my hand. But it is powerful. It does a lot of stuff, which we will get to today. So here's one more look at it. I'm going to take a quick picture here too. Okay, now let's get it up in the rack. So first thing we're going to do, power everything off down here. So we have electricity cut to this. We'll go ahead and turn this off too, might as well. First thing we'll do is plug in the ribbon cable here. I don't see a negative. I mean, I would assume it's supposed to go red line down, but that could be a dangerous assumption. It's not going to be in focus. There, maybe I can zoom in. Here's where we plug in, and usually there's a negative sign at the bottom or some sort of indication that your red line on the cable goes down there. So that's how it should be, but again, we do not want to make that assumption. So let's consult the manual. We had the manual. Here it is. Blah blah blah. Roadmap. Okay. By using the included Eurorack power cable, you can operate this unit on the Eurorack system's power supply. 12 volts. Grasp the 16-pin connector of the Eurorack power cable and insert it into the Eurorack's power connector. Red wires aligned with the negative 12 pin. Yes, of course. Grab the 10-pin connector of the Eurorack power cable and insert it into the unit's power connector. So the red wire is aligned with the white line on the unit. Oh. Okay. So, if we look on here, oh well, you can see it. This camera has such a far focus. It's like down here, so. But on the bottom side, there's a red line that's a little bit separated. I think the illustration probably shows it a little clearer. There's a little white line there. It's just to show the negative part where you put the red line. So, good enough for me. Confirmation. Like I said, that's generally how it is, but better to be safe than sorry. So, let's connect our power cable. Got the red line down, where the white line is. A little jittery from coffee, so pardon me. And we'll go over here. We're going to start off down here on the right. It might make sense to move it over to here at some point because it'll be directly above these input jacks on the Focusrite, and I can just plug right in there. But I might end up also plugging in down in the patch bay. So we'll see. For now, it's going to go right here. So maybe we can adjust this camera for a better view, possibly. So we're going to be placing right there. Let's find a good spot to screw it in. Got my guitar fingernails here. Make that a little difficult with the right hand. Alright, that looks good. Plug in the power. Alright, should be good. Okay, let's go ahead and power up down here. And then power back up over here. Okay, so it should be powered. Let's try running some sound through it. Okay. I'm not sure if this cable's good, but let's try it. Now, let's unplug that. Let's run this main line into here. And let's get that playing some tones. Let's have the Game Boy here. Our trusty MIDI controller, which needs power. As does the Arduino boy. Okay. Let's get this to start charging. At some point I'll get like a beat step or a key step. Or if I just need to do some very simple MIDI inputs, or CV inputs rather, it will be not too tough. But at the moment, I don't have a simple way of sending notes to stuff like this. Oh, I guess the Moog would have been a good option. Maybe we can do that. Alright, let's do that. Alright, so we're getting tones directly from the Moog. Oh! That is going through the Roland, because I unplugged the Moog. Play some notes. Cool. Alright. So we've got tones going through it here. Have to find a microphone I can plug in there. Get the line out going from the Focusrite to the computer direct, and then I can talk to you direct. Yeah, it looks like that's the start of it. I think the next step is going to be to get the Moog over here hooked up, because now that we have a mixer with the Moog semi-modulars, in the case you have a 1/4 inch line out in the back. So that's been very handy, as I haven't had a 3.5 millimeter jack situation, so I've been converting it with the life forms, which is why I put it in first, because it has a headphone jack out. But this one and the DFAM, I'm going to lose the input jack when I take it out of the case and put it in here. So that is going to be the next step. However, I think I might do that now. I'll give you a real quick walkthrough. So we got 6 line ins that we can mix into stereo out. We got 2 different outputs. We got a 1/4 inch output, and we got the 3.5 millimeter jack output. We also have a headphone stereo 1/4 inch out with its own volume, which is very handy. And then we got a line in that you can switch between a mic or a line with its own gain knob. And that automatically goes to channel 6 if it's mono, and channels 5 and 6 if it's stereo. So the rest of these you can do like a left and right signal, for stereo, or you can do single ones for mono, which you can turn into stereo. So you got little pan knobs that you can control with the CVN, which is cool, so you can make it bounce around between the left and the right. You got mute buttons, excuse me, if you need to just kill it real quick. And you got these little faders for the individual line volumes. So you can see how that'd be handy once we have the 4 different synth voices going here. And we are going to use some internal mixes too to mix the sound effects and bring in the Game Boy tones and all that. But that'll do it for now. I will try and be streaming a set of sorts here in the next few days, but I've got a couple more modules to install the Moog semi-modulars, and like I said, that little input mixer. So yeah, we're getting there. The Abomatron continues. Cheers. Stay tuned.